What's up, guys? Welcome to my first ever YouTube video in English. My name is Jesus Pernia. I am from Venezuela. English is my second language. So if I say something that doesn't make sense or if you don't understand something, I apologize in advance. I'm doing my best. I'm still trying to learn this language. So yeah, I have a YouTube channel in Spanish about filmmaking where I talk about cameras, all that stuff. And I have a personal YouTube channel too where I talk about more of like fitness, health stuff. But I'm trying to do a little experiment here to see if I can reach a bigger audience in English. So yeah, let's see what's up. All right, so before we start, let me give you a brief story about myself so that you can understand this better. So last year when COVID hit, I was 20 years old. I didn't know anything about nutrition, health, or working out in general. I always play soccer throughout my life, but I never received education on how to work out, and I never really care about the food that I was eating. So when COVID hit, I had nothing to do. I didn't have a job. So I had a lot of free time to think and to reorganize my life pretty much. So I started working out. I started doing calisthenics. I started watching a YouTube channel like Thanex, Chris Heria, Austin Dunman, and they served me very good as a base to understand fitness better. And I learned so much from them. So I'm really grateful that we have these tools nowadays. We have the internet, and yeah, it's really awesome. Like anything you want to learn is on YouTube. It's really cool. So yeah, I was doing a lot of calisthenics outside. Most of the gyms were closed. I was just doing pull-ups, push-ups, and yeah, just simple stuff. And at the time, I started to experiment with intermittent fasting, which it worked really good for me because at that time I had a lot of fat and I didn't have much muscle. So I lost a lot of fat and it worked awesome for me. And then I escalated that to OMAD, to 1 meal a day. And I was liking it, to be honest. It was pretty good. But then I decided to stop it because I wanted to pursue something else. So as I said, I didn't know anything about nutrition or health, and I wanted to learn. I wanted to experience firsthand. So I started to read about diets, about the vegan diet, about the carnivore diet, about omnivore, paleo, and all these different diets that you can try. And I wanted to see what it's like to be on these diets and what benefits they bring, because everyone is different and everyone doesn't react to the same diet and to the same stuff. But I wanted to try this firsthand to see if I can get something positive out of it. So when 2021 started, I decided to pretty much try all these diets and document everything. So on February of this year, I turned vegan and I was on the diet for 3 months, from February to April. Then I turned omnivore back again and I spent 3 months on the diet. And then I turned carnivore for 1 month, and I had to stop the diet last month for a couple of reasons that I can explain on a different video. If you're interested about that, let me know in the comments below. But yeah, that is pretty much my journey. So why I'm telling you this? I'm telling you this because you should know this beforehand before I show you any blood work or anything else. And by the way, I documented a lot of stuff. I got a lot of blood tests. I did DEXA scans, and I filmed every workout that I did during that time. And I took photos of most of the food that I ate during that time. And if you want to see that, I will leave the Instagram account where I uploaded everything on the screen, and I will leave the link in the description below if you want to check it out too. But this video is about Ashwagandha and Tongkat Ali, these two herbs that I think are very good and have a lot of benefits, and not many people talk about it because I think that these herbs, they deserve much credit, especially for what they did to me, I think. So at the end of January of this year, I was watching a lot of YouTube videos. I started watching Greg Duchette, More Plates, More Dates, and a lot of other people on YouTube. And bro, these guys, they have so much knowledge, so much information. It's insane, bro. So if, I don't know, if for some reason they see this video, thank you, Coach Greg. Thank you, Derek, because your videos they're really valuable. They're a library of knowledge, and thank you so much for that. So yeah, when this year started, I was learning, watching a lot of YouTube videos, and I started watching YouTube videos about Ashwagandha and Tongkat Ali, and I saw that they have potential benefits for both male and females. And I saw a study, I think it was made here in the US, where they use subjects, both male and females, and they gave them 200 milligrams of Tongkat Ali, and it improved their testosterone level. So if I find that study, I will link it down below too. So pretty much is this: at the end of January, I started consuming both Ashwagandha and Tongkat Ali. I pretty much bought the cheapest Ashwagandha and Tongkat Ali powder that you can get on Amazon. I will link it down below if you wanna check it out, but I wouldn't suggest that you get the cheapest, but I got the cheapest because, well, I don't have enough resources and I wanted to experiment. Now, full disclaimer before we start, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a professional. I'm just a 21-year-old kid who's trying to improve himself and who's trying to learn about all this stuff. But yeah, pretty much at the end of January, I started consuming these two herbs, Ashwagandha and Tongkat Ali, and I was taking 500 milligrams of each every day. And I did it pretty much for 3 months or 2 months and a half, I will say. I did it from the end of January all the way to March, pretty much. I stopped on April. And I have my blood test here before I started my vegan diet. This was January 27th. And if we go down to the testosterone, you guys can see that my testosterone was at 578 total. My SSBG was at 33. And my free test was at 11.5. So not bad in general, pretty healthy range, I will say. And here's my blood test for the vegan diet. This was at the end of February. This was taken on the 25th of February. And if we go down to the testosterone, you can see that it jumped almost 200 points. Now it was at 725. My SHBG went down to 28. And my testosterone, my free test was at 17, so it went up. Very interesting to see. Now, this could have been the vegan diet, but here's the thing. I stopped the supplementation of both Ashwagandha and Tongkat Ali at the beginning of April. I remember because I saw a YouTube video of someone that they said that you can develop tolerance to these two herbs, so that there are like a couple of ways to take them. The guy, I think he said that the first option that you have is that you can kind of cycle them. You can do kind of a cycle where you do 3 months every day. You take them every day for 3 months and then you stop for 2 months. So that's the model I took. But he also said that there is a different model that you can take where you do 4 days on, 3 days off. But I honestly don't know because, again, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, I'm just experimenting, I'm just trying to learn, and I don't suggest that you do the same because this can be kind of irresponsible to do with your body. So the model I took was to cycle them. So I was doing pretty much the whole 3 months and then I stopped for 2 months. So I stopped on April and I have my April blood test right here. This was taken on the 28th of April. And if we go down to the testosterone, we can see that it went down a little bit. So now my total test was at 644. My SHBG went up to 30 and my free test went down to 13.9. And it's really interesting because the only thing I changed here was the supplementation of these two herbs. The diet was pretty much the same. I was still vegan at the time. I got injured though. I was injured because I think I overtrained. I was training twice a day. I was doing crazy stuff pretty much, and I think I injured my rotator cuff. So I don't know if that could influence that. But yeah, it went down, and pretty much the only thing I changed about my diet was the supplementation of these two herbs. So I think that there is a correlation here. Very interesting to see how these two herbs can affect your testosterone levels. And I remember that after my first month of the vegan diet and at the beginning of the second month of the vegan diet, I was experimenting kind of high testosterone behaviors. I remember that like it was sometimes hard to focus on activities and that I got anxious from time to time, and I had a lot of acne too, especially around my back. And it was very interesting because the acne that I was developing wasn't like regular acne, you know, red acne. It was like purple acne, and it was mostly around my back. So very interesting. So yeah, I was experimenting high testosterone symptoms, and I remember that I wasn't feeling that good mentally, that like I had a little bit of depression. And it's very interesting because after I stopped the supplementation of these two herbs, my mental health improved a little. Now, in regards to physical performance, my physical performance was always pretty good and my ability to recover was awesome. I cannot say anything bad about it, but the only thing is that I got injured during the last month of the vegan diet, and I think that it was because I overtrained and I was doing stuff that I honestly look back on it and I say, wow, I'm lucky that I didn't got a worse injury. But in general, I felt pretty good with these two herbs. Now, I am taking these two herbs right now, but I'm doing a different model. Right now, I'm doing 4 days on, 3 days off, and I'm doing 200 milligrams of each around, more or less. So I'm not doing 500 milligrams like I used to do before. And I think that 500 milligrams may have been a little too much for me, but now that I'm doing a less dose and less frequent, I feel better and I still feel pretty good at the gym. So yeah guys, I wanted to show you this because I think there is a correlation between my testosterone levels and these two herbs. So I think that this may help people that are trying to maximize their hormone production. And yeah, the only thing I will say is that if you want to try this, do it responsibly and always start with the minimum dose. And yeah, just see how you feel. See if you like it, and yeah, see if you can get something out of it. So that is pretty much it, guys. That's all I wanted to say. If you like this type of content, subscribe, like, and yeah, if you want to see all the stuff that I did during this time, it's in Spanish, but if you want to see it, I will leave my Instagram and all my social media below. I'm going to try to make more content in English because I think that many people can benefit from this. And yeah, this will also help me to improve my language. So, alright guys, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you on the next one.